I can't begin to tell you how much of an honor and a pleasure for me to be sitting with someone today that it's big for me. Like I would normally say school's in session for you, but school isn't really in session for me because this gentleman who I have the honor of sitting next to has paved the way for me and so many others. Little did he know what he has done for others down the road, and maybe he does, and we'll find out about that. But this brother is so iconic, a radio Hall of Famer, a man who, without him starting this show on BET called Video Soul, there would not be a 106 in Park. Trust and believe that. This man has done radio for an extended period of time, merged into television, and is still doing strongly in television, and I want to find out about that. So it's a pleasure to be welcoming Mr. Donnie Simpson.
Wow.
A pleasure and an honor.
Thank you.
The legend himself.
It's my honor.
They call me a legend. I'm still a student in school trying to learn from a brother like you.
Well, thank you, man. Well, we're all students.
Yes, students of life.
Yeah, students of life, man.
What is Donnie Simpson doing these days?
I run a shuttle service. I shuttle grandbabies back and forth. That's my main job these days, Lenny.
I understand. You have to be on
six
time.
grandbabies, best job I ever had.
I know that's
man.
right. I know
Soccer
that's
games, hockey games, volleyball, basketball, and I love it. But, I have a new podcast that I'm very excited about, man. So that's what I'm doing these days. This moment in time for me is about owning me. I've always been a hired smile, worked for somebody. It was cool, did really good, no question. But, it's nice to own your own, man, to make those decisions for yourself, to have something, to create something that you can pass down to others, something that can be used for others to catapult themselves to where they want to be.
You are speaking on such a strong level these days because not only are musicians and artists, singers, in that lane of mindset, but you're opening up the mindset of us. I've just recently kind of fell into that pocket of starting to think about the next phase and what you want to do. Because you still have a love and appreciation, and obviously you still shop, and you have great relationships. So why not continue to do what you love to do?
Yeah.
Because you loved radio.
Always have.
And that's the interesting thing. You loved radio as a teenager. What made you fall into radio? Was someone in the family related?
Well, no. Well, my mom actually she was just the announcer for her church, which is so cool. And the church was on WJLB in Detroit back every Sunday night. And I remember hearing my mama, she was the first announcer in the family, really, but she was from Burnett Baptist Church, a church that burns with fire. But so she was the first one in radio, technically. But for me, that wasn't what really ignited that light in me, that fire. It was my mother owned a record shop in Detroit, mom pop joint, Simpson's record shop, and from the time I was 12, and so I worked in that record shop. Could run it by myself, every day, man.
Really?
It was just, and so I was always around music, and people used to come in the record shop. I mean, almost daily, man. And they would say, "God, you sound like a DJ. You ought to be on the radio." I had this heavy voice that started the summer between 7th and 8th grade. My voice changed, which I was too upset about because I was the only boy in the first soprano in the choir. And I got to sit with the girls, man. I love that, bro. But I had to move the next semester. So, but one day my mother had a live broadcast from the local DJ, Al Perkins. He came out and did a show from there. They had this big booth. He just drove up front, and it was all glass and closed. And he had me come in and do the specials. Temptations, greatest hits on sale this hour for $2.49 or whatever it was. And but while I was in there, I'm looking at him, man. And he's got his headphones on, man. And he's grooving to the music and rocking, man. And I was like, man, I could do that, man. I could. I'm telling you, it was just an instant love. It was like, that's what I want to do right there. And I was 15. And within the next 3 months, I was on the air.
At JLB in Detroit?
At WJLB in Detroit. What a break. How good is God to me? I mean, really. At that time, Detroit was the 5th largest market in the country. So, you always tell the young people, well, you're going to go and start in small markets, work your way. I started right there at 15. I couldn't even do my whole show live because I was too young. I worked 8 to midnight. Law stated I couldn't work past 10:30. So after school, My mother would drive me down to the radio station. I'd record my last hour and a half, then go home, do my homework, have dinner, and go back at 8 and go up live from 8 to 10:30 and put on the tape and leave, man. It was, just an incredible beginning, man.
I can fully respect how you say God just instantly
Yeah.
got you into that.
Oh, no question.
I'm just opposite of you. Singing was the first love. And then singing from 9 years old to college, and then went to visit a radio station, and instantly God flipped the switch. And I fell in love with this thing called radio. But I was way beyond 15 years old, my brother. Way beyond. But it was so fascinating to me as it was fascinating to you.
Yeah. I love it. It's, radio is just, it's the theater of the mind. It's, painting, but there's no visual paint, and, especially like with you doing a quiet storm to get, at night, getting to paint these pictures, man, to create this flow for people is just awesome.
It's all about imagination.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
You
no
paint
question.
the pictures without you actually seeing the canvas.
No question. That's awesome.
It is. I love it. I love it. I love it doing it every night.
Yeah.
And, to watch and to show how much of influence images play a part in our life. When you said the DJ came there and he was in a booth and you saw him and he was just loving the music, that attracted you instantaneously.
Yeah.
You knew exactly. So can you imagine what you have done for others who have watched you, listened to you, especially on TV? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, there would not be a 106 in Park, with all due respect, without Video Soul.
Yeah.
Video Soul, and I understand, if it was told to me correctly, you wasn't really overwhelmed with actually doing it at first.
No, I was reluctant to do it at first. When I first got that call, it was, for me, image is everything. It's all I have to sell.
Right.
I can't give you 20 rebounds a night. Right. It's what I have is image. So I'm very protective of it. Try to be careful to make sure that the things you get involved in are top shelf. And BET in its infancy wasn't the prettiest baby. It really looked like public access TV at that time. It just, but I thought about it for 2 days, and it came down to this, that this is our first black television network. If you got something to offer it, you got to do it. Let's go. And I'm glad I did. Glad it worked out that way.
When you look back, the culture was affected first by Soul Train. You're the second coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because Michael Jackson at the time couldn't even get his video played
On MTV. Right. No, I had to sue him for that. Yeah. Yeah. So we were an alternative to an MTV, and honestly, I didn't expect it to last as long as it did, because we didn't have many titles. We had like 20 titles, because the record companies didn't give the black artists the budget that they did to white artists. So they couldn't afford the music videos. So I thought, man, this will last 6 months, 8 months. So that's what I thought. And then it just blew up, man. It was amazing for me. And the other thing for me was that it was the first time that something was nationwide for me. I was always local in Detroit, and I liked that. I liked it when I went to LA, nobody knew me. I never liked being single. It used to just bother me, man, when I would walk in a restaurant and people hear, that's Donnie Simpson, that's Donnie. I don't know, it just made me uneasy, because it's like people ask me for autographs. I said, well, okay, if you give me yours. Why am I special? It just didn't make sense to me. So I would love it when you could disappear, go to different places. But I'll never forget the moment that it all changed for me. I was in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, my mom's from Birmingham. My dad's from also Sardis, Alabama. But and it was summer. And so it must have been the second year after Video Soul, second summer. And we were on hiatus the whole summer every year. And I would never shave. I got tired of having to look pretty. I wouldn't shave, man. I go to this Kentucky Fried Chicken with my dad. I got on a white T-shirt with plum juice stains on it and stuff, unshaven, man. People freaked out. Donnie Simpson. I was like,
You were surprised?
I was shocked. I don't know why.
Donnie.
I'm on TV every day doing it nationally, but that was the first time it was real. I just never thought about it.
Wow.
It's like, how did they know me? Because I was used to, when I traveled, they didn't know me. And so it just changed.
Ladies. I know how you knew him. Because he was known to melt you on the other side of the TV set.
Whoa.
Because of the eyes. The eyes. They say the eyes are the windows of the soul. Brother, many women have fainted in their homes watching Video Soul. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
No, come on
That's
now.
awesome.
You were well loved. You're still well loved.
Man, thank God for that. I mean, it's just, man, the love I receive from people, brother, I'm telling you, man. Lenny, I'm telling you, to this day, I will never get used to it. Really? I just don't get it. It's just, it's amazing, man.
Your spirit is
people, man, they lift me, man. It's just so rich. It's so beautiful what they give me, man.
So you have to feel that this was destined.
Yeah.
Unquestioned.
Well, there's no question. Well, I feel everything is, it's like, God wrote this script long ago for me, man.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it, but God got that, man. He uses ways. I just see down the street so far, man. He's got that navigation system. No, man, it's a different view,
But to just unfold his life just a little bit more for you, Detroit, you go from Detroit, which is a big city, to another big city called Washington, D.C.
Yes, sir.
And you don't just fall into any kind of situation. I want to know how you went from Detroit to becoming program director in KISS in D.C.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me tell you this. When I left Detroit to go to D.C., I was scared to death because I felt that, I didn't know that they would accept me. I felt that I had this great advantage in Detroit because they watched me grow up. They remember when I had to take off for my prom, and so I didn't know that they would accept me, man. And I got there, man, and it was just nothing but love, but it was just a tremendous opportunity for me. It was a much bigger station. The station I was on in Detroit, WJLB, at that time, we were AM. We were, 1,000 watts during the day, 250 at night when I was on.
Ooh, drops.
Going up against CKLW in Canada at 50,000 watts. And I'm killing them. With my light bulb. And so it was just a remarkable thing, man. But it was, it was just magical. It was to come there to this station. The first day I signed on at this NBC station, WKYS, KISS in DC, man, I put those headphones on, man, and it was FM stereo.
Big difference, isn't
First song I played, because I'd only worked AM, mono. First song I played was Heatwave, Boogie Nights. So, dude, this is Donnie Simpson, first day, WKYS, Boogie Night. Man, they sounded like ghosts. It was so full to me, man. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But then the coolest thing happened during that show, the very first day. There was a little recording booth right behind my studio where I sat. Plus, first of all, I had an engineer too. I was
has that?
I didn't have to. All I had was a mic in my room, man. I was like, oh my God, this is big time. This is awesome.
Yes, sir.
But I looked behind me while I'm doing the show, and in the recording booth behind me is David Brinkley.
What?
Recording of something.
NBC.
Yeah, the legendary NBC anchor, Huntley Brinkley.
Yeah.
David Brinkley, man. Man, I called my dad's office, Dad, you ain't gonna believe who's sitting behind me right now. It was NBC. Oh my God, it was just amazing. It was, so you want to know how I became program director. Yeah. I never wanted that. I never even thought of programming. I had zero interest in that.
Knew the music.
I was just always a talent.
You knew the music, though.
Knew the music. But the station was just doing terrible, man. We were in 16th place. And I was the music director. And but I had these restrictions. The program director I worked under, he was a brother, but he was really in the rock and stuff, man. He's just a different kind of guy. So, and I know I shouldn't make it sound like that because I'm in the rock. I don't mean that. I just mean, but he didn't really know our stuff. For example, I had the biggest argument with him about Brick House by the Commodores.
Wow.
He's telling me it's a ballad.
Wow. A ballad.
How can I even have a conversation
tempo?
with
You
the
can't.
biggest dance record of the year? You saying it's a ballad?
Wow.
So anyway, so I had two people that worked under me, and they were kind of political appointees. One was David Brinkley's son, John Brinkley, and the other was his senator's son, Steve. I can't remember Steve's last name. But so in the music meetings, the program director would go around the room and go, so what do you think of this? This in particular was, he played for us the Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden. You know, he goes, so what do you think of this, John? Oh, I think it's great. I love it. He says, Steve, what do you think of this? Oh, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Donnie, what do you think of this? I love it, but we can't play this.
It doesn't fit the format.
Man, black people don't want to hear this.
No.
You know, we might listen to some Stones, Miss You, or say,
Right,
you know,
right.
but Beast of Burden, man, no. You know, I mean, I do like it, but I know it needs to fit this. And so anyway, eventually he got tired of that and asked for my resignation. I gave it to him, and then I didn't come to work, man. I was just through, man. You know, it just went on for like 3 days. He kept calling the house. My wife, he's not here, he's not here. So finally the general manager called and said, so I talked to him, and he said, will you have dinner with me tonight? I said, let's go. So I went to dinner with him. He said, so what's going on? What's the problem? Because we'd like to have you back. And I told him what it was. I said, I'm frustrated. I can't work like this. This is, you know, this man knows nothing about us and this music that we play and all. You know, I said, the station's awful. We're 16th place. You know, we do nothing to be a part of the community. You know, I said, well, what do you, I said, we should have a basketball team, you know, baseball team, well, all these different things that get you to be a part of the community. And he said, well, would you write that out in outline form for me? Just something very simple. It could be handwritten, whatever. I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. He said, all right, well, meet with me tomorrow at noon. So I go into the station with him the next day at noon, and I give him the outline. I even made a little cassette tape with music on it. You know, this is how you paint. This is why it should flow. This is why I do this. He looks at it. He goes, okay. He says, well, will you implement this for us? I said, what do you mean? He said, I want to make you program director. I'm like, what? I had no idea that that's what he was thinking. None.
Wow.
It never crossed my mind. You know, I'm just trying to help out. I said, wow. So I sit there, I think about it for a minute and a half or two, and I said, you know what? Okay. I said, I don't know anything about programming, but I do know I can do better than this.
Sure.
I do know that. Because all I've known was number one when I was in Detroit. That's all I ever knew was number one. And so, you know, so I did it, and in 9 months, we went from 16th place to number one, man. You know, it was just a rocket ship, man. And, you know, to this day, I think back on all those, like, seminars that I used to go to for Billboard and
BRE.
all the, not BRE, but where all the white guys were. And I sit there and listen to all these whiz kids, you know, wizards that knew all the X's and O's and how to do this and all that. And they got 2 shares, and I don't know jack. And I got a 10 share. You know,
place.
it's like, you know what? I don't want to know all that. I just want to know this. You know,
You got to feel it.
You got to feel it, man.
You got to feel it.
You got to feel it, man. That's it. That's everything to me, you know. And I just never wanted to get caught up in the research and all that stuff. It's cool to have. You can use it as a tool if you want. But man, I was so bad, Lenny. I'm telling you, man. I remember times when it would be 2 or 3 years straight. I wouldn't even look at a ratings book.
I know that's right.
Wouldn't even look. I didn't care. I never did it for that, man. That happened, you know, and we were runaway number one in all demographics and everything. But I was always afraid of figuring it out, that I would become one of those whiz kid white boys that I saw at the conferences and stuff.
Real talk.
I don't want to be that, you know. I don't want to figure it out, you know. I just want to do it.
Yep.
And so that's what worked for me, man. And you know, I was just blessed, man, to have that kind of success like that, man. The station was just, wow. Just recently, a guy, that Walter Sabo, he was at that time the executive VP of FM for NBC. Just a legend. He was 26 years old at that point when he did that. Just a legend. We just feared this dude, man. But he told me, he said, you know, I wanted to tell you that you're the reason. He said, I only met oh God, what's the guy's name who used to run all of NBC? He was a legend, ran TV and everything. He came up with the must-see TV thing. Fred Silverman, if you remember that name, was a legend in television. But he ran all of NBC. He said, I want you to know that I only talked to him one time. He's an executive VP in charge of all FM stations. He said one time he called me because KISS went #1 in Washington, D.C. It was the first #1 station NBC had anywhere in this country, ever. NBC. He said, and that happened because of you. It's the only conversation I ever had with him. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
D.C. was Chocolate City at the time, right?
Yeah, it was. It is Chocolate Chip City now.
Because they call it the DMV, so it's D.C.,
Maryland, and Virginia. Yeah.
And a great population of African Americans.
Oh, without doubt. Yeah.
So you knew the culture because you're coming from Detroit.
Yeah.
Another cultural African American city. So you knew the vibe.
Yeah.
You knew what connected to people.
Yeah.
And obviously it was easy. It was a walk in the park for you.
Well, for me, yeah. But you get we had this program director, he's a white guy, and he did spend all his money on this music research. We just did a project, cost us $65,000. He said, can you tell, he said, guess what the #1 song is? I said, Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. He said, how'd you know that? I'm a brother, man. Please. How do I know that? We all know that.
He's Donnie Simpson. He's Donnie Simpson. If you didn't know his name, he's Donnie Simpson. Now, if you understand, I said school's in session not only for y'all, it's in session for me as well. And for those of you who are watching, you may have a child, or you might be interested in getting into this game of radio. You're really hearing it from a brother who's been there, who's done that, and still is very insightful of what the culture is all about, even though times have changed and we're in 2025 now. Some things should never change. And your gut programming, because you knew the audience you were appealing to is one of them. But that ain't even over. This brother, you leave KISS. Oh, well, first, let me thank you. Got to thank you. I want to thank him because, in the game of radio, you heard him say cassette. We used to send cassettes, or, I don't think we had CDs when I was coming in, as a demo to radio stations, to a man of this status, who was a program director, who evaluates the talent and determines, if I'm understanding it correctly, if you fit into the format, if you have the swag, if you were going to work among everybody else.
Yeah.
Correct?
Right.
I sent out 1 million tapes because the posting was up that KISS had it opening. I'm interested in radio, so I'm going for it, right? Send Mr. Donnie Simpson a tape. I want to thank you because out of the millions that I sent out, he's the only brother where I got one of these form letters saying we received your cassette.
It wasn't a form letter.
Oh.
No, I wrote that. It wasn't a form letter. I don't do form letters.
Oh.
I wrote that.
Oh, I really got to thank you now.
Yeah. Oh, no, for real. That's so awesome, man.
I saved that letter to this day. I should have brought it here.
I have a number of people that have said that to me through the years that have gone on to become very successful broadcasters. It's amazing to me how a letter of rejection can mean so much to someone. But and it's also sad that I was the only one that would respond. I mean, to me, it's how rude for somebody to write you if you not to respond. Even though I'm telling you no, but usually I would say something in there about why, because I felt like maybe it would help you.
Yeah. It would.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It's just a thing of respect for me. You should always respect people. It's disrespectful to not respond. So I responded to everything personally, but I would write them. I wrote those letters.
I want to thank you because that was very, very special for me. And as a person just starting out in the game, you don't know which way to go. You're kind of feeling it out. You're excited about wanting to get into it.
Right.
To just get any kind of response back.
Yeah.
You said it's right.
Well, it's important to me, man. I'm going to tell you where that comes from. A guy named Ken Bell used to sneak me in the radio station when I was 15 and trying to learn it. He was on the overnight show, and my oldest brother would take me down there, and man, I'd sit down and work out on the equipment until 2 or 3 in the morning. Wasn't supposed to be there, but he snuck me in there. And I never forgot that. And it's like, I remember my sidekick, Tony Perkins, who did mornings, the weather on GMA, on Good Morning America for a while. But Tony was one of my sidekicks for many years. And Tony one day asked me, he said, man, why do you always invite people in, when it's so distracting? I said, because somebody let me distract them one day. Ken Bell let me come in and distract him. The next morning he would sit there, man, and go through my tape and tell me, give me advice and all that, man. I don't forget that stuff, man.
That's right, brother.
You got to give that back, man. It means something to somebody. And for me, as I told Tony, I said, man, you never know. Some kid could come in here, man, today and sitting here, this distraction, as you call it, that light could go off just like it did for me that day at my mother's record shop, and a career is born. You don't know. You got to let them see and give them a chance, you owe them that.
I thought I was the only one that thought like you.
Oh, man, no.
Because it's really important to pay it forward.
Man, absolutely, bro.
And
absolutely.
You have definitely done that, man, for me and for countless others. With the game and of radio changing so drastically these days, my heart was heavy when I was watching, because they were videotaping you, and you were online when your last day, when you were about to say goodbye. But you went, and I'm jumping ahead a bit, but you went to another radio station. You went to a hip hop station, PGC, right? It was considered to be hip hop at the time.
Was it?
Against
Yeah, I guess
Kiss.
it was more hip hop, than Kiss, yeah.
But because you're
I never thought of it as a hip hop station.
Okay, so they were playing some R&B
maybe,
music.
You know what? Wow. You know what I guess it was? Is that I didn't care what they were. I always hated boxes.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started programming Kiss, because it was such an instant success. I remember the Washington Post coming to me, the press, they always, what do you call it? Man, I don't call it nothing. Well, you got to call it something. But, man, I call it what the people call it. They call it Kiss or 93.9 or what,
Right.
But you got to, it's got to, I said, all right, you got to have a category. I said, all right, well, you know what? We were disco once, now we dis that. We some of this and we some of that. Because I would play, I play some of everything. I was never afraid to stretch out. I'm from not just Luther and the OJs, whatever, but I would play B.B. King, Jimi Hendrix, Garth Brooks.
Wow.
I play all kind of stuff. I'm not scared. I love music. I just love music, and it's all in how you present.
Yeah.
You can make anything work.
Yeah.
If you present it right, make it interesting to you. Even though it may not be, I may acknowledge it in playing a Garth Brooks. I might not even, I may acknowledge that right up top. This is something I don't normally play. It's something you might not normally hear, but I want you to know this guy. This dude just sold 67 million albums.
Yeah,
he really is the biggest thing in music right now. Check this dude out, because I wanted to know. Check him out. Just little snippets. Man, that's cool stuff.
Yeah,
people appreciate it. And then for me, years later, you get this back from people that come up to you and say, man, thank you for expanding my ears. I love that, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm not the typical programmer. Most programmers feel like everything has to be slotted. And I don't. I just believe that people's ears are broader than programmers give them credit for.
True. Very true.
And then the other thing I'll say about that fear of playing other things, is that I've always felt that, man, if I go down because of one song, then I shouldn't have been here anyway. If playing one wrong song is going to end my career, then it needed to be ended. Man, please. I just believe in stretching out, man. Man, if you're on the golf course with me, man, I always have my phone on random, man. Bruh, you would think I was crazy. Because, it'll go from Jimi Hendrix to Vladimir Horowitz.
Wow.
To B.B. King, to SZA.
Wow.
To Doja Cat, to anything. It could be anything. To Richard Pryor. I got those Richard in there. But I just, I don't know. That's just me, man. To me, music is music. I don't care what it is. Yeah. I just love all music.
And if it touches your soul the right way.
If it touches you, man, yeah. And soul.
Yes.
Like people think of that as a code word for black.
No.
Man, listen to Chris Stapleton. Tell me that ain't soul. I said, man, we need to recruit that boy from country, man. Woo! Chris can bring it, man.
What?
Teddy Swims. It's a number of them right now. just, man.
Blue Eye Soul, we called it back in the day. Blue Eye
Yes,
Soul.
sir. Yes, sir.
Donnie Simpson is with me, and this is what's a wonderful, amazing feeling. You've watched so many careers from the beginning
Yeah.
just blossom and grow, and they became great friends of yours over the years.
Yeah.
And now, with you doing the podcast thing, which is Video Show, right? Donnie Simpson's Video Show?
No,
Is it
no,
called
that was a
Was it-
different thing. The podcast is the Donnie Simpson Show, and yeah,
And it's like a video show.
yeah, without the videos because it's just interviews where I sit there and talk with different celebrities. Yeah,
Do you miss radio?
not at all,
Okay.
not at all.
Wow.
Yeah, not at all. It's I mean
Because
I
it's
really
changed so
don't.
much?
Yeah, it's changed so much, and it's just I don't know, Lenny, I'm funny in this way, man. Like when I'm done with something, I'm done with it.
You've exhausted.
It's like I move on. I don't have rear view mirrors, man.
Yeah.
Or side view mirrors. I don't. It's straight ahead. It's what's next for me. That's the way I've always been. I mean, those days were great and all, but when I walked away from it, I was ready. I said, 55 years, long enough. I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to. I just, it's just changed so much. It's radio's just different now.
You think you could ever go back?
No.
Wow. It's too politically influenced?
No, because the politics never affected me. I've never let it. It's just, one of the issues is just the money that's in it now. It's just different. It's not the same money that.
What money?
Yeah.
What money?
Well, that money went to the internet.
Yeah.
They found an alternative way to advertise,
Yeah.
and that became an issue.
Wow.
And which is part of the reason why I'm doing what I do now. It's easier to have something that I control than it's just, the shrinking of staffs. The fear that radio lives under now. Everybody's scared to lose their jobs from talent on to management. Just, God. It's
Do you
just,
feel that terrestrial radio will ever leave? Because I don't feel it will leave. per
No, it won't leave. But it's different.
se. It is different.
Really. It's,
It is.
Man, people got all the music they want or need right
On
there
their
in their
phone.
pocket,
Yeah.
in their phone, man. But, and this is the base of the problem to me, is that while that's true, people will listen if it's presented differently. It's all in the presentation, and you have to have presenters to do that. I can pull out my phone and play Love to Need Love Today by Stevie Wonder. Boom, it's right there. But it's different when you're listening to Lenny, and Lenny sets it up and says something cool about Stevie and then drops a song. And it's a surprise to you because you weren't expecting it.
So you embrace personality radio
Oh, without
and
doubt.
have the utmost
It's-
respect for it.
Man, I was taught from the very beginning that we all get the same music. Every radio station gets the same music. The only thing that makes it different is who presents it. So you got to have that. That's the key. That's the magic. And they've shut down that part of it to such a great degree that it's just so frustrating to me. Now, me personally, I never had to deal with it because I was, man, Lenny, I was just so lucky, man, that, from the beginning, it was just an instant explosion, where they never messed with me, because I was always the ticket.
Yep.
In Detroit, in radio in DC, at BET, I never had to deal with that. In all my contracts, man, it stated 100% control of whatever happens on that show.
I love it.
Not just the music, but who I hire to come on, whatever happens between 6 and 10. It's my decision. Don't talk to me about it. So I was very fortunate in that way, but as years went by and you see nobody's got that control of music or anything anymore, it's sad to me.
Yeah.
That's the thing I hate most about where radio has become. The fact that it's been stripped of the personalities have been stripped. That there are people that have great ears for music that they can present to their audience, and they'll never get a chance to express themselves musically. Because it's some program director sitting somewhere in Denver has decided what they should be playing in Chicago. I don't like that. I hate the shackles, man. Just, man, let my people go.
Preach on.
Let creative people create. To me, and that's where I was even as a programmer, man. I'm telling you, bro. Never hotline my DJs. Never, never, never. Not once, man.
Wow.
It's just freedom. Do what you do. We had one guy, man. His name was Kevin James. He did the slow.
I know Kevin.
Yeah,
Slow James.
Slow Jamming James. Yeah. Man, I said, Kevin, man, I can't even listen to your show, bro. I said, the new songs you play sound like they 30 years old. Where do you find this stuff, man? I said, but you know what, man? It ain't got nothing to do with me. Wow. That's between you and the audience, man. Wow. And they love it. They love what you do, man. I'm just telling you, for me, but man, do your thing, man. Do your thing. And that was the kind of relationship I had with my DJs. If I called you, man, it was just always, so Lenny, what's up, man? You good? I haven't talked to you in a minute. Yeah, cool. Just checking in, bro. All right, man, have a good show, baby.
Wow.
And I'm gone.
Yeah, Donnie, those days are gone forever.
No, I know. I know. Well, and a lot of it sometimes is just people trying to justify their existence, by controlling yours.
Right.
And so I was just very fortunate in that way, man, that I never had to deal with it. I came along at a great time,
Look, he did, and he is still with us, and he is going to be with us for a long time to go.
Well, I hope so. You hear that, Lord?
Yes. No, you can't take your way just to program this stuff up in heaven. Not no time soon.
Yeah, no.
But we are dealing with a new generation of how new radio guests are coming, presenters, as you would call it, are coming into the fold. So what would you say to someone who's watching and needs to understand the new approach, how to finagle?
It's hard for me to give advice on that because I know it's like my producer Rick Chill would always tell people, young people come in and sit and talk with me, and he would say, "Man, don't listen to him; he'll get you fired."
He's gonna test you.
So you can't do what he does, because so it's hard because I know that there are restrictions. That's real. I get it. But somehow, I guess you got to get in there and figure out a way to make what you do to make it feel different from everybody else. That you need to stand out in some way. And
without getting fired.
Without getting fired. But it's just, it's hard, Lenny. It's just, man, I just hate that we don't have that freedom now. Yeah. Let me just share this with you. I remember, this is one of the biggest moments in my career, man. The DJ closest in age to me at the time in Detroit was named Claude Young, and he turned me on to Elton John. Wow. Man, every night we would sit there in his basement, man, listen to Elton, man. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album. And I fell in love with this song called Benny and the Jets, right? And man, but I was scared to play it because black folks didn't know Elton, right? So after a week of that fear, finally I said, man, I'm playing it.
Wait, this is before you became a program director?
Yeah, I was just DJ. But back then we had the right to, man, I came in with a sack of records. I played whatever I wanted to play.
This was in Detroit?
Yeah, this was in Detroit. Okay. And so finally, I dropped it that night. I played it twice. And I played it twice because the first time I played it, the phones were jumping off the hook, man. Oh my God.
Everybody loved it.
It was an instant explosion like I've never seen before, nor since, man. It was unbelievable. Al Perkins, who's the guy that hired me at 15, was the morning DJ. And he calls me the next morning, wakes me up, man, at 7:30. What is this song you played last night? Jenny and the Nets or something? Man, these people, phone's blowing up, man. You got to bring that down to me. I get in the car, take it down to him so he can play it. In 2 days, Elton is on the phone.
What?
Calls WJLB, calls the station. What is this I hear? Benny and the Jets is breaking black in Detroit. I mean, he freaking loved it. Of course. He always wanted to be in that market. He loved black music, So he ended up coming to Detroit. It became his biggest hit until he redid Candle in the Wind for Lady Di. Yeah. Then that became his biggest selling single. But before that, it was Benny and the Jets, man. 6 months later, he comes to Detroit to hold a press conference to present me with a gold record for it. Yeah. And he wasn't performing in it. He came there for that reason. Man, that was huge for me, man.
Yes, sir.
Huge. Elton John, and you know, we were so cool. We hung out. As a matter of fact, I used to send Elton music, gospel music. He loved black gospel, and my mother specialized in gospel music, so I would send him stuff that he couldn't get, you know. And but it was, and the reason I bring this up is to say this: that there's so many other young people again with great ears that will never have that Benny and the Jets moment because they're not allowed to express themselves, you know. But if radio understood that if you let creative people do what they do, if I'm doing what I love, what I feel, instead of implementing what I think you feel, well, it's not even that. It's just I have to play this playlist. Man, you get such a greater project, a greater product than someone just implementing what you want. You know, you hire good people and let them do what they do. Let creative people create.
Wow.
You know, that's the way I feel, man. And so that's what I did. Like when I said I was programming, I feel like I hire good people. I trust you. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. Create. I ain't got nothing to do. This is between you and your audience, man.
Can you buy a radio station? Matter of fact, buy a few. Can you buy a few radio stations? Can you just do that? You know, you don't
Let
have
me
to do
see.
all
Let
the
me
work.
check, man.
Just check.
Let's
check
see where
the
I'm at
bank
today.
Yeah. Donnie Simpson, yo man, I'm telling you, brother, you speak the truth on so many levels, and I hope someone received one of the many gems that you were so kind to just drop on me today and us today. We gotta pay attention to it. We gotta embrace it, and we gotta hold on. For those of us who are still in the game, I'm still in the game. We're trying to hold on.
Well, it's worth holding on to, man. You still love it. You know, you love doing it. You know, I still love doing, you know, presenting music to people, man. I love that. You have to check this out. I have a platform that I'm part owner of called Discovered.tv, past tense, Discovered.tv. And we have my podcast up there. But I created a feature specifically for this platform, and it's called Play Something For Me.
Wow.
Because I've always loved, you know, I'm a DJ, I play music, but I also love people playing music for me. You know, that's what keeps me fresh. George Clinton told me that years ago. Well, George told me, and this is 40 years ago, man, always keep young people around you, man. Yeah. You know, they keep your ears fresh.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes, sir.
And so I always want to know from my kids or grandkids or people I just run. What do you like? What are you listening to? Yeah. You know, really, yeah. Let me. You know, I always want to know, man. And but so this actually was born out of, I don't know if you remember this, but it was these two young brothers. They were probably 19 years old or so. And they were listening to Phil Collins in the Air Tonight for the first time. And this video went viral when the drums came in. And they went, I mean, they were just freaking out. And that's kind of what triggered the thought for me. It's just like, wow, maybe you could, you know, just play music for. So what it is, I have my guests. Like the first one was Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
That was the first guest on the podcast and first guest on Play Something For Me. So I play something for him and he plays something for me. We don't know what it's going to be, you know, but I just want to see your natural reaction to it. Man, it was everything I imagined it would be and more. So I played this song, Serenading You by El DeBarge for Kane.
Okay.
Kane's sitting there, man, he starts grooving. It's for the one you love, one you love. It's like, wow, man, what is this? I said, just wait, man. Wait till the chorus comes. You hear the background vocals, you'll know. He said, El DeBarge? I said,
wow.
Yep. He said, man, I love El DeBarge. I said, man, it was so cool, such a cool moment. And then he played for me, Marvin Gaye, Piece of Clay.
Oh, wow.
So stars, I go, wow, I know this song. Yeah. I said, Marvin, this is Marvin, right? He said, yeah, Piece of Clay. So he asked me, why did I play for him the El DeBarge song? I said, well, because it's so smooth. It's just such a smooth groove. It reminded me of you, man, a smooth operator.
Yes, he is.
You know, yeah. And he said, for you, I wanted to play this because, he said, I was just thinking about today, this divisive world that we live in. You know, that people feel like they can't speak to people if they don't have the same political persuasion, all this. He said, it's just like everybody right now seems to want to build or mold someone into their own piece of clay.
Ooh.
I said, dang. Yeah, man, I ain't go that heavy. I just went with groove. But all of them have been so fascinating, man. So again, that's on discovered.tv, and and which is where wherever you get your podcast, I want you to watch it. But that's special to me because I own a piece of it, and that's important to me. And it's black owned. I want you to know.
Are you accepting other podcasters to become a part of it?
Yeah, man. We're looking for it's designed for creative people, which has been kind of the theme of what we've been talking about here today. It's just letting creators create, let them do what they do. And that's part of why it's so important to me is trying to create a platform where creative people can do what they do. And it's a revenue sharing thing, but when you get a fairer share of the dollar than you would at YouTube or more, it's a 50-50 split of the advertising dollar. Yeah. And, I'm very proud of it, man. And, it's whatever you do. It could be podcasting. It could be music that you create. It could be movie shorts or longs or gaming, anything that you do.
And it's discovered.tv.
Discovered.tv. Yeah.
So that's one of many things to come.
Yeah.
Well, that's here already.
That's here now.
So what's coming on? Because I know you're working on something else, Donnie.
No, well, right now there's just these two things.
Okay.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah.
Can I thank you and thank you and thank you?
Well,
for all that you've done, all that you continue to do, and thank you, man, for just embracing and keeping the culture as it's supposed to be, and opening up the minds of those who need to understand if they're creative. There's a platform for them.
Absolutely,
and they should be heard.
Well, thank you, Lenny. I appreciate that, man. It's I'm just honored, man, that God would put me in a position to impact careers and lives like He has. What a blessing that is, man.
It is.
It really is, man. And I don't understand it sometimes, but it's not for me to understand. It's just, it is, and it's beautiful. Man, people have been great to me, man. I just want to thank, you and your audience, man, for the support that you've given me through the years, man. The love, man, bro. I'm telling you.
Brother, it's your warmth.
You just don't know, bro.
It's your warmth, it's your personality, man, that naturally just is embedded in you, obviously, from your family infrastructure to where you are now as a man. And it comes out naturally. It comes out with your guests over the years, all the people that have sat down with you. They feel that they're in the living room of their home, your home, and you're just having a conversation.
That's the greatest compliment people pay me is they say, man, I'm sitting there watching, man, you and Kane or whatever. I feel like I'm sitting on the couch with y'all.
Yeah, man.
See, that's what you're supposed to feel.
Yes.
Because you are. And you're in your living room, but you're part of ours too.
Yep.
And I love that people feel that way, man. But man, Lenny, when it's real, people feel it, man. And they know. This ain't no act, man. I'm the same dude 24/7, bro. Always have been all my life. I don't know no other way. Love people. My mama says a baby, man. As a little kid, man. I'd be walking down the street with her. I'd walk past somebody's house. They sitting on the porch. Hi. And they didn't say hi. 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 She said, look, please say hi to this boy. He'll be here all day. That's me. I've never changed.
I know, and you never will. And we don't want you to.
No, man. I love people, bro.
We love you more, man.
Yeah, well.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's possible to love me more, man. But it's
possible. And you see it all the time. In many ways.
You do. I just one last thing. Just when I spoke at Frankie Beverly's funeral, I was talking about the love that Frankie got.
Yeah.
And you know that. People love Frankie, man.
Yep.
Love Frankie. That's my boy, man. Frankie was my boy.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I said, you can't get love like that unless you give love like that. That's why Frankie got it, because he gave it.
He gave it.
They felt it, man. Unconditional, man. Yeah. And that's the way it has to be. That's the way it works, So, hey, man.
And that was divine, man. That was divine because I didn't. When I was a kid, I got introduced to Frankie Beverly and Mays through my older brother until I went through some things in life. And then everything becomes three circle. You can understand the lyrics of the songs that he's been writing over the years.
But it's so much. One of the other things I said there at his funeral was that I said, it's almost blasphemous to say this. I think some people would think this, but I said, the only person I could compare him to is Marley. I said, because you have this infectious groove that you just captured in. I said, but on top of that, you've got messages of love and hope and, you know, faith and all these things from Frankie.
We are one,
just like you did from Marley.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, man.
Always.
You know, it's just, man, he was my heart, man. I love Frankie Beverly, man. Just, you know, he was just golden, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, a special brother, man.
Special.
You know?
As you are, my brother.
Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you for the time, for the honor.
Man, please.
Continued success.
My honor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, lady. You too, man. God
The
bless you, my
legendary
brother.
Donnie Simpson. This was a blessing, and I hope it was a lesson for you, because I know it was a lesson for me. Until next time.